For more than 2 centuries, Oak Island has remained one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries, keeping its secrets buried deep beneath the ground. Countless expeditions have searched for answers, yet the island has continued to guard its hidden past. But now, everything may have changed. During a recent excavation beneath Smith's Cove, the team reached an incredible depth of around 110 feet, far deeper than most previous investigations have explored. What they encountered wasn't just surprising. It could become one of the most significant discoveries ever made on Oak Island. Deep underground, investigators reportedly identified what appears to be a hidden man-made structure, along with a mysterious underground anomaly unlike anything previously documented. Even more intriguing, the evidence suggests that people may have been working beneath the island long before historians ever believed possible. Could this discovery finally reveal the long-rumored connection between Smith's Cove and the legendary Money Pit? Or has the team uncovered something even more extraordinary, something intentionally hidden away to remain undiscovered forever? Because what lies beneath Oak Island may not simply be treasure. It could hold the key to solving the mystery that has fascinated explorers, historians, and treasure hunters for generations. And if these findings prove accurate, they could change everything we thought we knew about Oak Island. Just when many believed there were no major secrets left to uncover, a fresh wave of leaked information began circulating. According to these reports, investigators may have made discoveries that have not yet been revealed to the public. Behind-the-scenes developments have only fueled growing excitement and speculation. Sources familiar with the investigation claim this wasn't another equipment malfunction or a simple geological formation. Instead, advanced underground imaging reportedly revealed something remarkably distinct: a sharply defined rectangular chamber hidden beneath the surface. Rather than a collapsed tunnel or scattered debris, the scans appear to show a structure that looks intentionally built by human hands. Reports suggest the chamber measures approximately 10 feet wide and 15 feet long, resting at a depth of more than 140 feet below the surface. To appreciate how extraordinary this would be, imagine constructing a sealed underground room beneath the height of a building more than 12 stories tall, without modern machinery or excavation technology. Such a project would have required exceptional planning, skilled labor, and enormous resources. Even more remarkable is the chamber's apparent condition. At these depths, underground pressure is immense, and ordinary wooden supports would be unlikely to survive for centuries. Yet the reported scans indicate that the structure has remained largely intact despite spending hundreds of years beneath the earth. For generations, nearly all attention has focused on the famous Money Pit, a confusing network of flooded tunnels, collapsed shafts, and scattered clues. But this newly reported chamber may have been hidden nearby the entire time, escaping notice while search efforts concentrated elsewhere. Some researchers now believe the original builders may have intentionally created misleading tunnels and false paths to divert future treasure hunters away from the true location. However, the mystery doesn't end there, and according to leaked reports, the chamber may not be empty. Scanning equipment reportedly detected at least 3 large rectangular objects resting on the chamber floor. These objects produced unusually dense readings, leading some investigators to speculate that they could be carefully stored chests or containers. Each object is believed to measure roughly 4 feet long and 2 feet wide, dimensions that closely resemble the treasure chests often described in historical accounts and local legends. Whether these objects contain precious metals, priceless artifacts, historical documents, or something entirely unexpected remains unknown. But if the reports are correct, investigators may have located far more than another underground anomaly. They may have discovered a sealed vault that has remained untouched for centuries. As anticipation continues to grow, reports indicate that excavation preparations are already underway. Heavy equipment is reportedly being positioned at the site as the team prepares for what could become the most important excavation in Oak Island's long and controversial history. Whatever lies inside that hidden chamber may do far more than solve an old treasure hunt. It could completely reshape the story of Oak Island. Yet another surprising detail has reportedly emerged. According to leaked information, sonar imaging detected what appears to be a thin metallic lining covering the interior walls of the underground chamber. Although this detail might seem insignificant at first, researchers believe it could explain why the structure has survived, while so many other underground tunnels and shafts across Oak Island have collapsed, flooded, or deteriorated over the centuries. Unlike nearby excavations that have suffered extensive damage from water intrusion and shifting ground, this chamber appears to be exceptionally well preserved. Some experts have compared its design to a protective enclosure, almost like a sealed barrier built specifically to shield whatever was placed inside from moisture, pressure, and the passage of time. The metallic lining is believed to consist of either an unusual alloy or several engineered layers of metal working together. If future investigations confirm this, it would demonstrate an impressive level of engineering and preservation techniques far beyond what many would expect for such an ancient construction. This possibility raises an even more fascinating question. What if the chamber wasn't built simply to hide something valuable? What if it was carefully designed to preserve its contents in perfect condition for generations, or even centuries? If investigators eventually gain access to this hidden space, the discovery could represent much more than another exciting chapter in the Oak Island mystery. It could become the breakthrough that finally answers questions that have captivated explorers, researchers, and treasure hunters for over 200 years. The mystery grew even deeper when soil samples collected around the excavation site reportedly revealed microscopic traces of the same metallic material believed to line the chamber. This finding is especially important because it suggests the anomaly is not simply the result of faulty imaging or unusual underground rock formations. Physical traces of the material appear to exist in the surrounding soil, providing additional evidence that something unusual may truly be buried below. As a result, some researchers are beginning to view the chamber differently. Rather than seeing it as nothing more than a hidden treasure vault, they believe it could be a carefully preserved time capsule, deliberately sealed away for an unknown purpose, waiting silently beneath Oak Island for centuries until the day it would finally be uncovered. Then came the revelation that completely changed the direction of the investigation. According to leaked reports, scientists conducted a more detailed analysis of the metallic traces recovered from the site. What they allegedly found immediately caught the attention of historians and researchers alike. The material appears to be made from a combination of lead and silver. On the surface, that may not seem particularly unusual. However, experts noticed something far more significant. The alloy reportedly shares isotopic characteristics with metals used in advanced engineering during the height of the Roman Empire. Similar materials have historically been linked to specialized construction projects, including sophisticated water systems, protective linings, and the sealing of important burial chambers designed to last for centuries. These were not ordinary building materials. Producing such alloys required advanced knowledge, skilled craftsmanship, significant financial resources, and access to technologies that were rare for their time. What makes this finding even more fascinating is that many of the manufacturing techniques associated with these alloys gradually disappeared from widespread use, only reappearing much later in European history. Naturally, this raises an important question. How could traces of a material linked to ancient engineering traditions end up buried deep beneath Oak Island? Suddenly, several discoveries from past expeditions begin to look very different. Artifacts once dismissed as isolated curiosities, including objects believed by some researchers to have Roman connections, as well as unusual coins recovered during earlier excavations, may deserve fresh examination. For years, these items were considered interesting but inconclusive, offering little evidence to support larger historical theories. Now, however, they may fit together as parts of a much bigger story. If a large underground structure truly exists and is connected to materials associated with ancient engineering, then those earlier discoveries may never have been random finds. Instead, they could represent scattered pieces of an enormous historical puzzle that researchers are only beginning to understand. This possibility naturally leads to theories that challenge conventional history. According to accepted historical records, there is no verified evidence that the Romans ever reached North America. Yet discoveries like these continue to inspire speculation that ancient civilizations may have possessed far more advanced maritime knowledge than historians once believed. Rather than suggesting a single ship accidentally crossed the Atlantic, some researchers see signs of careful planning, organized construction, and long-term purpose. Building something on this scale would have required coordination, expertise, and a clear objective. One increasingly discussed theory suggests that hidden sea routes may have connected distant civilizations long before the officially recognized age of exploration. Others propose a different possibility. They believe that secretive groups operating many centuries later, possibly organizations whose traditions eventually influenced the Knights Templar, may have inherited ancient knowledge, valuable artifacts, or sacred relics before transporting them across the Atlantic to protect them in a secure location. If that theory holds any truth, Oak Island may have served as a carefully chosen repository for priceless objects, historical records, or items considered too important to leave exposed. Some researchers even believe the hidden chamber could contain evidence capable of challenging long-standing assumptions about human history. If the structure truly dates back to an ancient period, its discovery could rank among the most important archaeological finds of the modern era. The idea that advanced knowledge survived through hidden networks and influenced construction centuries later would force historians to re-examine major chapters of the human story. And when that chamber is eventually opened, whatever lies inside may prove far more valuable than gold, silver, or precious jewels. Its greatest treasure could be knowledge itself, evidence with the potential to reshape our understanding of the past. Yet perhaps the most unsettling possibility is still ahead. What if the chamber was never meant to be opened? Some insiders speculate that the structure may be protected by sophisticated defensive systems, including flood tunnels, concealed mechanisms, structural traps, or other safeguards specifically designed to prevent anyone from gaining access. If those theories are correct, then this chamber is much more than a simple vault. It may represent the final layer of protection, a carefully engineered system built to keep its secrets hidden forever. But perhaps the most intriguing clue isn't what may be inside the chamber. It could be its exact location. According to the leaked information, the newly discovered structure does not lie within the traditional money pit area. Instead, it reportedly occupies a separate location connected to one of Oak Island's most mysterious features, the stone formation known as Nolan's Cross. Even more interesting, the chamber is said to align with one of the outer marker stones rather than the center of the formation. To many researchers, that alignment appears anything but accidental. It suggests the location may have been selected according to a carefully planned geometric design understood only by the people who originally built it. If that's true, then the entire Oak Island mystery may need to be viewed from a completely different perspective. For years, researchers have debated whether Nolan's Cross is simply a natural arrangement of large boulders or part of a much larger engineered system. Supporters of the second theory believe the formation may function as an enormous navigational marker, directing attention towards specific underground locations hidden across the island. Now, with the leaked coordinates reportedly matching one of these overlooked points, interest in that theory has grown stronger than ever. The more closely investigators study Oak Island's layout, the less random everything appears. The massive stone markers, underground tunnels, flooded shafts, unusual alignments, and hidden structures begin to resemble parts of a carefully designed master plan. A plan created not only to conceal something important, but perhaps to ensure that only those who understood the clues could ever find it. These recent developments have also inspired an entirely new theory among researchers following the Oak Island mystery. What if the chamber everyone is focused on isn't the final destination? What if it's only the first step? A growing number of investigators now believe the structure could serve as a decoy, or perhaps an entrance chamber, carefully placed to conceal something even larger, hidden deeper beneath the island. In this interpretation, discovering the hidden chamber wouldn't mean the mystery has been solved. Instead, it would simply mark the beginning of an even greater journey, the first obstacle overcome in a much larger puzzle. When viewed from this perspective, many of Oak Island's most mysterious features begin to make more sense. The flood tunnels, the collapsing shafts, and the complex underground obstacles may never have been built to protect ordinary riches like gold or silver. After all, money can always be replaced. But sacred relics, priceless historical records, or objects capable of changing history would be worth protecting by every possible means. For centuries, stories surrounding the Knights Templar have claimed that the order guarded some of Christianity's most treasured relics, including the legendary Holy Grail and even the Ark of the Covenant. Whether those stories are true remains a matter of debate. However, if such artifacts were ever placed under their protection, it's unlikely they would have been hidden carelessly. Instead, they would have been secured inside carefully designed structures built to survive for centuries while protecting their contents from nature, time, and anyone seeking to uncover them. Interestingly, that description closely matches what many believe this newly discussed chamber represents. This raises another fascinating possibility. Perhaps the chamber isn't filled with piles of gold coins or precious jewels. Perhaps it contains sealed containers preserving ancient manuscripts, sacred relics, or historical artifacts whose true value cannot be measured in wealth. If that idea proves correct, then Oak Island's greatest treasure was never financial riches. Its greatest treasure may be knowledge. Knowledge capable of transforming what we understand about exploration, ancient civilizations, and chapters of history that have long remained hidden. Some researchers also believe this theory connects with clues uncovered during Season 12 involving the Knights Hospitaller, a medieval order often associated with the legacy of the Knights Templar. According to one historical theory, when the Templars were dissolved in the early 14th century, their possessions and closely guarded secrets did not simply disappear. Instead, they may have been quietly transferred to trusted allies who continued protecting them in secret for generations. Viewed this way, many of Oak Island's mysteries begin to fit together in an entirely new pattern. Perhaps Oak Island itself was designed as the protective system. Perhaps Nolan's Cross served as the map, and perhaps the hidden chamber is simply the first barrier separating modern explorers from something even more extraordinary. If that's true, then the legendary money pit may have played a completely different role than people have always assumed. Rather than being the location of the treasure itself, it may have been created as a deliberate distraction, a carefully engineered false target meant to occupy generations of searchers, while the real secret remained hidden somewhere else. The amount of planning required for such a strategy is almost unimaginable. It would suggest a plan created centuries ago and carried out with incredible patience and precision. And perhaps the most astonishing part is that it may have worked perfectly. For more than 200 years, treasure hunters focused nearly all of their efforts on the wrong location. Millions of dollars were spent. Dangerous excavations claimed lives. Countless theories rose and fell. Yet throughout all those years, the hidden chamber may have remained untouched beneath the island, waiting quietly for someone to finally uncover it. And if that chamber represents only the first stage of the mystery, then the ultimate secret may still lie even deeper underground. Today, a growing network of researchers is working tirelessly to uncover answers before the next major excavation begins. Reaching the chamber may become one of the greatest technical challenges ever attempted on Oak Island. But unlike previous expeditions, today's search is supported by something entirely new: a global community of investigators. The fellowship seen on television represents only a small portion of the people involved in studying Oak Island. Behind the scenes, thousands of historians, engineers, archaeologists, researchers, and dedicated enthusiasts have spent years contributing their own discoveries and ideas. Every old map, historical document, satellite image, engineering report, and archival record is carefully examined. Nothing is overlooked. Across online research communities, investigators have identified intriguing links between medieval trade routes, mysterious symbols, and historical records that some believe hint at Atlantic crossings long before Christopher Columbus's famous voyage. Others have recreated detailed digital models of Oak Island using modern mapping technology. revealing geometric patterns that resemble designs often associated with secretive organizations from the medieval world. As more people contribute their expertise, the search has grown into something much larger than a traditional treasure hunt. It has become one of the world's largest collaborative historical investigations. Ideas that were once dismissed as speculation are now influencing real excavation strategies and inspiring new directions for research. While digging continues on the island itself, thousands of parallel investigations continue every day across the internet. Researchers carefully examine every episode, every newly released photograph, every historical record, and every newly discovered clue. These people are no longer simply watching from the sidelines. They have become active participants in solving the mystery. Many of them use advanced analytical tools comparable to those employed by professional researchers. Some analyze satellite imagery and laser scanning data to identify hidden patterns invisible from ground level. Others compare centuries-old maps with modern land surveys, searching for alignments that may have survived through time. Researchers are also studying medieval financial records, shipping documents, and historical references connected to the Knights Templar, hoping to uncover evidence of a much larger international network. Meanwhile, geologists continue investigating underground anomalies and unusual soil disturbances that could point toward forgotten construction buried deep beneath the island. With every new clue, the mystery continues to grow. And with each discovery, the possibility of finally uncovering the truth feels more realistic than ever before. Other investigators have turned their attention to ancient navigation records, comparing European port documents with puzzling references to transatlantic voyages that appear difficult to explain using conventional historical timelines. Together, these efforts have transformed Oak Island into a worldwide investigation involving thousands of curious minds working toward a common goal. Long before large-scale excavations began exploring the island swamp, many independent researchers had already suggested that the area could conceal one of Oak Island's greatest secrets. Whether those theories are ultimately proven right or wrong remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: the next major discovery could completely change everything we think we know about Oak Island, and perhaps even rewrite part of history itself. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on the latest Oak Island discoveries, mysterious historical investigations, and fascinating archaeological theories, be sure to subscribe to the TimeFold, and don't forget to like the video. Your support helps us bring you more stories that explore history's greatest unanswered mysteries.